270.
So we're now going to merge on from 285 to 75, heading to Lakeland.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
And we got the crazy driver this morning on the road. Everybody's rushing to work, so everybody's
Bear right onto
cutting everybody off and everything. Everybody's braking like crazy, cutting people off. That's why you gotta be really careful anywhere, but especially Atlanta.
Speed warning.
People drive like they on the road, they're the only ones on the road. It's like this guy. He sees the sign to merge left, he just cuts over, not even paying attention. There's somebody next to him. So far, I got my hotspot connected to my GPS, and it's not giving me any kind of traffic holdups or anything. So it says we'll arrive back in Lakeland about 3 o'clock p.m. It's now about 7:35 a.m. And I should have enough time. As long as there's no issues, I got 8.5 hours to run, and it says from here it's going to take about 7 hours and 35 minutes. So there is at times traffic that builds up down here about maybe 8 miles through McDonough, through Locust Grove, but so far it looks good. So we're going to see how it is. As long as I don't have any traffic, I'll make it back in town. Now, something I noticed in Ocala, Florida, there's been a buildup of traffic in the afternoon every day. I don't know why. So I should be through Ocala about 1 o'clock, between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. Hit Gainesville about 11:30, 12, and then Ocala about 12:30, 1 o'clock. So I should get through there without any traffic problems. So we'll see. They've been doing a lot of construction, which is kind of strange. We've got 4 lanes here, which is always good here. Then when we get up to where 75 meets up with 675, they've been doing construction for a while, years, and it really hasn't taken care of congestion because all lanes are open. They don't have any lanes blocked, and it always gets congested right there. And I really don't understand why, because the 3-4 lanes that we stay on here when we go around this bend up here, 675 merges in from the right, and they're always backed up, but they're not having a hard time merging in, which doesn't make sense. They got 2 lanes merging in, and they're flowing, but everybody seems to just slow down. So I don't know what the deal is, but in any case, we'll see how it goes. So hope everybody's having a good day, and if you're your first time to the channel, appreciate it if you click subscribe. Also click on the bell, that'll alert you of future videos. I'm a dedicated driver for night transportation. I drive primarily from Lakeland to Atlanta, Georgia and back, but we are adding some other delivery points. So basically, right now I do Sam's and Publix in Lakeland, and they're both live unloads. So we do for Sam's warehouse and also for Walmart and Publix. So they're going to be adding on, well, let me back up. We do deliveries to Walmart Distribution Center, their DCs, in Robert, Louisiana, and Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And then we're going to be adding on Alachua, Florida, and Brooksville, Florida, and also I've heard North Carolina. So now they're all dropping hooks. Hattiesburg, Mississippi is dropping hook, and that means basically I'm taking a loaded trailer. I just drop it off at their distribution center. I pick up an empty, and I'm heading back to Atlanta. That's nice because that's only about 15-20 minutes total. By the time you get in the gate, dropping a trailer, pick up an empty, doing a pre-trip on it, you're good to go. So, but when I go to the Lakeland Sam's Club or Publix, I got to check in, get into a door, wait to get unloaded. That takes usually about anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to do that. So kind of stinks. So I like to get it mixed up a little bit with dropping hooks because then I don't have to sit around for 3-4 hours. So that's what I just did. Actually, I went from Lakeland to Atlanta, picked up a loaded trailer, took it to Robert, Louisiana in the last video, and dropped that, picked up a new one, or an empty, I'm sorry, and just went back to Atlanta. And then I'm now leaving Atlanta, heading down to Lakeland. And actually, you get paid by the mile. And yesterday I did probably the most miles I've ever done. I just worked out that I did 681 miles. I had not one time ever a traffic stop, anything slowed me down. So I was on highway the entire way. 65 miles an hour is what our trucks are governed to. So actually I went the whole entire way without a problem. That's how I got the most miles. So yesterday was 681 miles. Now today, driving this down to Lakeland, it's about 473 miles, I believe. So, but when you run into traffic, that's what changes your miles. So hopefully I won't have any problems. Coming up here is usually where it backs up if it does. And I saw some of the signs didn't show there's going to be any kind of backup, so hopefully we'll blow right through. But this is the southeast side of Atlanta. Basically, I'm right by the airport, as you saw when I started the video. Maybe about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from the airport where Kellogg's is. That's the dedicated lane that I'm on, is Kellogg's route. And we bring everything back from Snap Chips to Nutri-Grain bars to cereals to anything that Kellogg's makes. And from what I just opened the back of the trailer, I saw I'm carrying Nutri-Grain bars, Fruit Loops, cereal. So, and they're in the large boxes because Sam's Club does usually the bulk, the big items like the 48 count Pop-Tarts or 96 count. I'm not sure what it is, but the big boxes. So I only have about 27,000 pounds on the trailer. So I filled my tanks up with fuel this morning. So I put my tandems all the way up to the front, because usually in this truck with full tanks and anything 28,000 and below, you usually don't have to weigh your truck and trailer scaled out, because usually going to be okay. It says 64 local, so that means that there shouldn't be any traffic. So I'm just making it the right time through here. Surprisingly, it's weird how Atlanta works. So I've driven out of Atlanta, and I've been at 9:15 in the morning, and I have no traffic. I'll buzz through here 60, 65 miles an hour, no problem. Anytime after that, all day long until the evening, it's full traffic. I don't know what the deal is, why it's that way. Same with coming up here. It's the weirdest thing. Around lunchtime, coming up through between Locust Grove and McDonough, you get really hardly any traffic. You travel through maybe 55, 60 miles an hour, somewhere in that, which isn't bad for some reason after 1 o'clock, everybody's coming north and south, so it's both. And you get held up, and you can be down to 35 miles an hour, just like this way too. You'll be held up. Sometimes I've seen the sign say 14 miles an hour is what the average speed is. So it's just horrible. I don't know. It's weird. You would think that it would be, at the rush hour times, it would be the busiest. It's actually not. It's actually the off times. It's the busiest coming through Atlanta and, coming to and from Atlanta. So I don't know the deal. And I know a lot of us truck drivers, we pick up loads and we head out. So, we're taking up a lot of space in the road too. But I see it's a lot of cars too. It's not really mainly trucks that I see. It's half and half, or maybe sometimes even more cars. I don't know if it has to do with people still not working. I don't know what the deal is, and that's another issue too. I just want to bring up that, a lot of people see in the news and stuff about how, there's a shortage of truck drivers. That's kind of always been a back and forth thing. I'll be honest with you, what I see and what some reports are saying, which is true, it's not a shortage of truck drivers. It's a shortage of lumpers, and they're the ones that load our trucks. There's a shortage of crane operators who work in the shipyards that pick containers up, like this one in front of us here, this Schneider truck. That's a container that came probably from China or Japan or somewhere, and it's lifted by crane off of a ship onto it's a flatbed. There's a name for it, but they put it on what this truck, how it pulls it. It's I don't know what you call it. But anyways, there's a shortage of them. So what happens is, like when I get to Publix and I talk to some Publix representatives, when I get there, I said, why do you guys always take 4 or 5 hours to unload a truck? And they said, we are short, people loading and unloading trucks. That's their problem. So we're still scheduled like we used to be, and they're just backed up because they used to put 2 people per truck before, let's say, COVID. And what happens now is they can only put barely 1 person on per truck, but they still need the same amount of product. So just us trucks are just coming in, and we're kind of just waiting for the guy to finish the one to get to the next. And it really puts a big problem on the supply chain. So it's not a shortage of truck drivers, it's a shortage of the workers loading and unloading trucks is the problem. So just so everybody understands, there's plenty of us. Now, is there always need for more truck drivers? Sure there is, because there is a lot of people retiring from the business, but there's also a lot of new people coming in too. So there's a lot of truck. Trust me, when I go to truck stops, there are hardly any spots to park. I mean, people are double, triple parked and everything. So that tells you right there that, we're there, we're out there. There's a TikTok video I saw about a month ago that says the same thing. It shows basically that there's a truck driver, and he pans around all the trucks waiting, and he said he was sitting there for 6 hours, and the cranes, this is during daytime, the cranes weren't even moving, taking stuff off the ship. So he's like, we're waiting, to get these loads going. And there was every spot filled, double, triple parked, waiting, but there was no cranes running. And there was 3 of them, so it wasn't like, one was broken down. All 3 cranes were just sitting there. So that's the big issue. It's not us, it's the people that used to load trucks. Now, I know there's people have been making hand over fist, it came to these stimulus checks and so forth, and extra unemployment and all that, which, people need that. I understand that. But there comes a time the government just needs to shut that off. It basically, people got to get back to work. This is the reason that we have shortages on the shelf, because it takes, just figure, if it normally took about an hour to unload a truck, now it's taken, per truck, 3 to 4 hours, sometimes 5. So what happens there is, that's, you figure a 24-hour period, how many trucks that's delaying. Okay, so that's a big issue. That's the reason what we're having, shortage on the shelf because we're trying to get it there. I'll actually put this back. We get it there. It just takes forever to unload. So, in any case, don't want to keep ranting about it, but just the bottom line, just want to explain to everybody that, we're there. We're out there. It's the people that, the workers, just like when you go to fast food. I went to a Burger King over the weekend, and it was 7:30. I was going to do a quick delivery, and I had my truck over at the yard already loaded with a trailer I brought back from Atlanta. And I pull in at 7:34. I still remember the time because I'm sitting there at the drive-through window. And I'm just sitting there. I must have been there 5 minutes. I'm like, usually somebody says, I'll be right with you. The sign's all lit up, Burger King's all lit up and everything and all that. And nobody says anything. So I said, hello? Got no answer. Decided after about 3 more minutes, I decided, well, I'm going to pull up to the window. So that's what I did. Pulled up, lights are on the building. I waited 3 minutes, look in the window, there's nobody moving. There's nobody in there. They have a sign up on the window at drive-thru said our new hours are such and such hours. And this was on a Sunday. And it said our hours are from 7 a.m. until, I think, 10 p.m. or something like that on Sundays. And I'm like, well, it's almost 7:45 and there's nobody here. So what's pretty bad about that is at least you think a manager would be there. But, they're just such... fast food and restaurants and so forth, just such short on workers that it's causing a problem everywhere. So my suggestion is people just get back to work because eventually you're going to have to. You're not going to be able to ride the gravy train through the government forever. Okay, that's number one. And number two, when everybody's money runs out, there's going to be a flood of people. They're going to go for jobs, which is great. It's going to help our economy. But to the people out there that don't have jobs, that are watching my video, you're going to be in the back. And then there's going to be all the jobs are going to be filled. And then you won't be able to find a job. So just be careful. And, y'all might have money in the bank that aren't working right now and so forth. And I'm glad you got money in the bank to support your family, whatever you need to. But, you got to remember, too, the world runs on us all working to keep everything going. So go get that job today. Don't sit around and wait. Wait till your money runs out, because that's what's going to happen. Your money's going to run out before you get a job. So, and just remember too, once you get a job, you apply for a job first. It could take weeks to get the job, and then it's going to take about 3 weeks to get your first paycheck. So you got to look at that too. Don't wait till the money runs out to the very last minute. Make sure you get a job ahead of time. And keep that money as a nest egg for yourself. So again, not to keep ranting, but I just want to just drive out of Atlanta there, let everybody see not really morning traffic because I didn't have any traffic. But another thing too, I said in my last video, I'm on the wide angle lens here, so I just want some comments if you like the wide angle better, you like the linear angle, which is what I usually film out the windshield. Which really has the edge of the video on the middle of my hood mirrors. But I noticed with the wide angle, you get, it's wider, so you can see more. So just want to know everybody likes. If you like if it doesn't matter to you, or if you do notice a nice big difference between the wide angle and the linear, just let me know what's your preference, and then I'll use the majority of the comments to film whichever way is the best, wide angle or linear. So, well, I'll cut off for now, and if anything exciting happens on the way down, I'll film it. If not, I'll maybe get some more shots coming into the yard, backing the trailer up, and so forth. And just stay tuned, okay? Talk to you soon, folks. you.